guys about that, Fashion Dolls, and we are back. It is Thankful Thursday, August 15th, and we're going to continue on with our interview. I have no idea, just cut off my live, but we are back. So I'm going to send this back to Vontae so that we can pick up where we left off on this great conversation, all right? So, without further ado, let me add my very special guest back. Again, I apologize. It just cut me off live. Yo, what is going on? I guess my dress might have broke the internet. So, but please forgive me.
And we
And we're back.
back.
I apologize.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. You're good. Trust me.
Yes.
I hope nobody calls me. I didn't know if I could put it on airplane mode or not, but hopefully nobody calls me because people are just like, "Yeah, I see you on live." Well, I can't be on live if you're calling me.
Mm-hmm. It interrupted. It'll pause it.
Yeah.
But you were saying, growing up with siblings, you said six siblings, and you were talking about your grandmother and all a total of 20.
Yeah.
So different personalities, different things, and then we're going to fast forward. You also started in the church doing music. So what was that like? Each child having their own passion and individuality. Because like I said, I have siblings too, so I know.
Yeah, so yeah, my family is very huge, big family. I ended up in foster care for most of my years from probably 7 or 8 to up to 18. Once I left foster care, I, started dating and started just being an adult, getting my own place, stuff like that. But still to this day, I'm still in contact with my sister, my sisters and brothers. One passed away a couple of years ago from pneumonia. So, rest in peace to Dexter. But yeah, for the most part, everybody gets along. Everybody's, still rocking, doing their thing. My sister's in the military. And my family is huge, and I love them. I wouldn't be where I am today without my family, their support, their love, just everything about them.
Yes, and you started off in the church, and
Hmm.
then from there, your foster mother kind of gave you a nudge and a push to
Hmm.
say, okay, I want you to join the school band. And
Hmm.
from there, it went on. You started playing the saxophone, the
Yep.
clarinet, and the flute, and then I'm pretty sure you graduated to more and more instruments because that's how it always
Hmm.
starts off. So, at what age was this when you started off in the school band?
I want to say fifth grade. I started playing the flute, clarinet, saxophone. I think everybody probably started with the recorder. You know what the recorder is?
Yes.
Yeah, I think everybody probably started on one of those. But that, and then yeah, so my foster mom, she kind of pushed me to play instruments. Um, I just bought a keyboard and a guitar, so hopefully I'll be able to learn those as well.
All right, Stevie Wonder Jr. And
Right.
we'll get to that because
Hmm.
your musical influences. And I was doing my research, reading up on you. You like one of my favorite singers, and I love her. And she just celebrated a birthday. Whitney
Uh,
Houston, the late Whitney Houston. Usher. You like Michael Jackson, the King of Pop. He's one of my favorites as
yep.
well too. Missy Elliott, Luther Vandross. What is it about these iconic music icons that I just named that you admire? Give me one by one word to describe each. Because I also like Prince too. I'm a big Prince fan.
Yeah, I love Prince. So probably at the top of my list will be Michael Jackson. Um,
King of Pop.
because he was an innovator and he wasn't afraid to speak his mind about the ideas and things that he had. So and I think he's a Virgo too, if I'm not mistaken. He has an August birthday. So him. Number two would have to be Whitney, because Whitney is just she's like the embodiment of what a singer is. Like when you think of singer, I think of Whitney Houston, just beautiful, elegant. Even when she wasn't elegant, she was always real. Like she always kept it real, and I love that about her through her music, everything. The way she lived, the way she carried herself, with church and her just carrying her faith with her everywhere she went. Beyonce number three.
Oh,
just because just she kind of gives me Whitney and Michael put together. You know, the class, the showmanship with being an artist, taking care of her voice, being an icon, a legend, just taking care of those who are around her, not just being all about herself. You know, she does things for the betterment of other people around her as well. Then Missy, she's an innovator. She took risk. She did a lot of different things that just shook the industry up. I just went to go see her live for the first time ever, and I'm like a huge fan. I lost my mind. So her, Usher, and the list goes down like Usher, Luther Vandross, Rick James, and Bobby Brown are probably like the next ones in line for me because they all love their craft. They all show respect to those who are younger and older, those who have came before them, and they're just amazing at what they do, and I'm just inspired. So my music is like a reflection of all of these artists put together, and I create that individuality within myself to be Beyonce.
you've named some of the greats, and I'm gonna go back to Whitney for a second. It was one award show, I think it was the AMAs, and she always looked like a supermodel. That's
Hmm.
what I admire about her.
Yeah, real
I'm
tall.
a fashion girl, and she came out. I mean, hair with like a lioness. This was in the '80s.
Hmm.
Face, you know how makeup was back in the '80s,
Yeah,
kind of over the top,
the
exaggerated,
blush.
and there was malfunctions on the stage. Like we just had a malfunction. The live just cut off a few minutes ago.
Hmm.
This woman came out looking like a supermodel. Hair, I mean, big like a lioness,
Yep.
and the voice of an angel. She sung "How Will I Know It,"
Yep.
and the whole room you could hear her voice in the whole entire room.
Yep.
And I mean, she let out some growls and some belts, and I'm just like, this is Whitney freaking Houston. I'm watching this as I'm now in my adult years. I went back and I watched it. Diana Ross introduced her, who's another great
Yeah.
musician. I love Diana Ross. And she said, introducing this beautiful young lady, and she came out and the stage was rotating and something was going on with the sound. When I tell you, Vontae, she got on that stage and she commanded that
I would have
stage.
lost
I
my
mean, like
mind.
a runway model. Tiny waist, because Whitney was always very tall and skinny,
Hmm.
and oh my God, just hair of a lioness, makeup over the top, exaggerated, which I probably will recreate that look because the makeup was just gorgeous.
Yeah,
She
I
was
loved
always
it.
beautiful. And Michael Jackson, when I think of Michael, the king of pop, you can't help to think about Motown 25.
Hmm.
That performance right there
That,
solidified him
that
as the
moonwalk.
king of pop. Yes, the
Hmm.
moonwalk, the one glove, the sparkle, everything that solidified him. And to this day, Usher has always given credit to Michael Jackson. So
Yeah, he
you've
has.
named some. Yeah.
He really has. To answer a question somebody has in the this chair came from Amazon. You can just type in like gaming chair and I'm sure it'll pop up. Just type in gaming chair on Amazon.
Now, speaking of chairs, we're going to the next part of your story. In 2012, you've already released your recorded project, which is Broken Boundaries of
Hmm.
Existence. Now, tell us what was it like recording your debut album, your subtitle album, getting it out there in 2012.
Ooh, that was a moment because I was dating someone who also was an artist, writing, recording their music, and I was inspired and wanted to, do it myself. And so one of my friends, who I went to school with, he helped me. I even still have the equipment that I recorded that first album on, and I still use it still to this day from 2012. Isn't that crazy? So and it's good quality equipment, so it's held up all this time. But he had really helped me, to learn how to record, to learn how to, use my voice in certain ways that I probably would have never used it. And yeah, like I really appreciate her now because he, recently transitioned into the beautiful Terry now. So instead of Terrence, she's Terry. But yeah, I love her. And like I message her every once in a while. I'm like, hey, listen to this, and she's like, you got it. Like, stop playing. Like, you don't need my help no more. You don't need me to tell you what to do. Like, you are way beyond, me and my expertise. So just do your thing. I trust you. I love your music. So that album was a process. Just me talking about, going through foster care, going through relationship issues, like at a very early age. Um, and yeah, it was that very is a very emotional album. It's not on streaming because I don't have the confidence
Put it
all
out.
the vocals and everything like I do this new music. So I probably wouldn't put it out unless I re-record it and then put it out. But for right now, it's gonna stay with the people who have it.
Now that's another thing. How do you feel about that? Because we heard a lot of artists that didn't have the rights to their music, and I'm pretty sure you understand that as an artist, had to go back and re-record their albums,
Hmm.
and it's just like, wow, this is something. This is a capsule. It's like lightning in a bottle. I've captured this, and now I have to go back and re-record it. How do you feel about artists having to go back and re-record their music?
I probably would have to do some sort of like soul searching really to really go back and get that feeling back if that was something I was trying to chase. Otherwise I would kind of redo it, kind of like how Taylor Swift redid hers, like Taylor's version. She switched up the
And
beats.
Ashanti had to do
Ashanti,
it too.
yeah, switched up the beats, the flow a little bit. You just kind of make it, freshen it up a little bit. But yeah, I commend them like being like giving it their all, going out here and repaying for studio time to re-record an old album and putting it out again. I respect that because I mean the business part of the industry was very, um, a lot of sneaky people, stealing masters, and artists just want to get on so fast, and people are signing their lives away and their music away, and then they get up, in age, or they, get further in their career, and they want their money, and these people will not give them their money. So I respect them, and I think twice now about signing contracts and stuff like that. So it's scary.
I've interviewed a lot of independent artists, and I was just about to go grab my TLC fan mail album because that was the first thing that came to my mind was what they went through with the
Hmm.
record label and not getting paid for touring and doing all of these things. If you're signed under a record label, the thing is you're supposed to get paid for touring, promotion, promoting that album, all of these things, commercials, endorsements, all of this, press appearance, all of these things you should be getting paid for.
Hmm.
And what's so crazy is these girls were not getting paid what they were supposed to get paid. So we heard the story.
Right.
It was T-Boz. She told us about they had to go hold up Arista, the record company,
Right.
Clive Davis, who's worked with Whitney at the late Whitney. God, I hate saying the late.
I
She's so
know.
pivotal, but these girls had to go do what they had to do. They were like, who has
Yeah.
the money? Because Crazy Sexy Cool, they generated $75
Crazy.
million. And we
Right.
seen Left Eye. The late Left Eye broke it down for us. How much you're supposed to make, how much you're supposed to pay, what are you supposed to pay your bills
Hmm.
with? All of these things go into it. So a lot of artists are starting to go independent. Megan
Yeah.
Stallion is I love her. Very talented. I'm a hottie.
Yep.
But
Ah.
um Warner Brothers, she she signed with Warner Brothers, and they gave her the full free creative range. You don't get that opportunity. A lot of artists don't get that opportunity. So
Yeah. I mean, I commend all of those. Well, I don't know why my phone, the volume keeps going down. I think because of the button. Sorry.
no, you
Okay,
good.
there we go. Yeah, my volume is clicked on the mount and it kept putting the volume down. I don't know why, like it just started doing that randomly. Um, but yeah, I commend all of them for doing that because it takes a lot to go against the machine, the music industry. You can get
Yes.
canceled. It'll drive you crazy.
And it's happened to so many other artists from the late James Brown, the Godfather of Soul. And we've seen
Yep.
him have to go up in the place and go crazy. We know James Brown. And the same for TLC. So many artists went through this thing, and it's just like, hey, why am I not seeing money? Why am I not seeing income for this? We're touring, we're working our butts off, we're doing all of these things. Why are we not seeing that?
Right.
But I've interviewed so many independent artists. One particular is Stephen Voice.
Hmm.
And Steven puts out his own music, is working with his own artists. Could you see yourself working with other artists or having your own label? Because a lot of independent artists are starting to do that now.
Yeah, so I actually started my own label just for myself right now. So it's 6820 Entertainment, and that's the address, the number, the street number, the house number where I grew up. And so I used that, and I wanted to incorporate it into, something that I did to keep the memory kind of alive, for my grandmother and for where I lived, where I started dancing and just discovering myself as an artist, as a talent, just recognizing any sort of talent that I had. My family's always pushing me, so I wanted that to be a part of that. But yeah, and I'm planning on working with two singers currently that are going to be collaborating with me for an upcoming project or maybe just a song. I always wanted to get in the studio with an artist. Like everybody's like, "Oh, send me the song and I'll record it and I'll send it back. Send me this." I don't want to do that. Like I want to be in the studio with you. I want to create. I want to do the
Yes.
full process. I'm old school, so that's what I want to do. I want to get in the studio, let's sing, and let's do it like that. But yeah, I do have a label. I do eventually want to, sign artists. But I want my business model to be a little bit different than how it was back in the day. I don't want to completely, own your music. I don't want to completely, tell you what to do as an artist. I want to be able to be because my thing is if I sign you, I'm signing you because I believe in you. I'm not signing you because I'm trying to use you or I'm trying to, make money off of you or I'm trying to tell you exactly what to do. So as me as a creator, as a artist, I want to be able to give back to those who are like myself right now, who have the talent, have the drive. You have things that you want to accomplish, but you may not have the tools or the resources or the networking to be able to do those things. So I want to be, the person that helps you to elevate where you are, not completely tell you what to do. So that's just how I see it, because you have to be a creative. And I know how it is to
Absolutely.
feel stifled and feel like you can't do whatever you want to do. So
Writer's block.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Hmm.
And speaking of independent artists, another amazing independent artist just came in here and I interviewed him, Phil Loft. Phil is like the male version of Sade, and I so
Oh,
collaborating on something. His voice is like when you open the blinds first thing in the morning, it's like a beautiful morning dew just coming in.
oh,
Like his
I
voice is
gotta
very
hear that. You're
very
gonna have to send me some of his music.
yes.
Because I've been
Uh,
trying to
yeah,
I've been trying to tap into like that sound specifically for one
yeah.
song, like a Sade, Anita Baker type of sound. So Phil, hit me up at my DM, send me a song or something. Like yeah.
Him and Sade, their range is very because Sade has a very he actually did a cover for Sade. Is it a crime? Is it a crime?
Okay.
If you go back, it's from one of those albums, and yeah, such passion
Thank you.
in his voice, you can feel it. Definitely. I call him the male version of Sade for a reason because if you go and you listen to her and then you listen to him, the
You
voices are so parallel.
yeah. Oh, I can't
Yes.
wait to hear that.
All right, Fashion Doll. So now you've also continued on. You've released more music. Phil
Hmm.
says you're blushing over there. Yes, Phil, and Phil is coming on the show sometime in the fall.
Come on,
So you
Phil.
have to be tuned. Yes, he's coming on the show. We did an interview before, and when I listened to his music, because he sent me some of his music, I said, "Wow, he's just like Sade."
Hmm.
And the comparisons, a lot of people are making comparisons between him and Sade because their sounds are so similar. Sade has a voice where it's just like, okay, just got home from work and you want to
Oh,
relax. Like she just gets you in a element. Erica Badu does the same thing for me. She's
Anita,
another artist.
Anita.
Anita,
Ah,
Phyllis Hyman is one
woo.
of my favorites. They have an effect on you where it's
Ari
just like, okay, I want to
Lennox.
sit back. Yes, I want to pour myself a glass of wine. I just want to relax. I don't want to care about the cares of the world. Sade, Anita Baker, Phyllis Hyman, Ari Lennox, who's another one?
Uh,
Erica Badu, they all have
yeah.
that effect on us where it's just like, okay,
Luther.
yes. And the thing about Luther, when he's on stage, if you pay attention to him and his performances, he does this, he's very in detail on
Hmm.
everything, from rehearsal to
Yep.
everything. If you go back in time, look at some of his rehearsals, he wanted everything to be intricate. And we
Hmm.
know that Lisa Fisher, who sings How Can I Ease the Pain, was one
Oh,
of his
that
background
song.
singers. Yes. And we seen her perform that song live on the Impala. When I tell you this woman hit an entire high note in this performance. The audience went crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how
So
she hit that.
stage presence. He always Luther and his background singers, especially the women that he had, Lisa
Yeah,
Fisher, all of them, they would do this thing with their hands. They were very in detail. It was just like ooh ah. And then when the light would hit his clothing, like
yeah,
even his style,
yeah,
wanted everything to be detailed.
yep,
And Beyonce, we see that with her as well too.
yeah.
We've seen how hard this woman works in choreography, making
Mm-hmm.
sure that every single dancer, background dancer, has every single step. And if
Yep.
you go back and you watch her films and her documentary, you will see exactly what I mean.
Right.
This woman is very detailed. So you can't miss a step. You have to keep up with
Right.
her. So when those girls walk out on stage, those dancers walk out on stage with her, they are in unison with her.
Yeah, they are. They are. She's on point. I mean, definitely the best that's out right now. Like, in my opinion.
If not her, then Janet Jackson is one of my
Yep.
favorites too. I'm
Yep.
a big Janet fan,
Mm-hmm.
and I can tell you, watching this woman work for what was it, Rhythm Nation? It was one of the albums, Rhythm
Mm-hmm.
Nations, I think it was. Seeing her do choreography behind the scenes, and then you actually go and watch the video. Wow,
Right.
they put a lot of blood, sweat, and
Mm-hmm.
tears. And I'm just like, this is Michael Jackson's baby sister. And she is now stepping out on her own,
Yep.
saying, okay, I have my own identity. I have my own sound. I'm trying to break out of the shadow of my brother's footsteps.
And she made a
And
name
now
for
trying to,
herself.
yes. And then she gave us control, the dance. Every one of her music videos, you can't help but get up and
Mm-hmm.
study her
When I
dance
think
routine.
of you, baby.
That
Okay,
one,
come
and
on,
then
Janet.
it was one where she was on a like a airplane, and the girls, they were dancing on the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Runaway, that's it,
Mm-hmm.
Runaway,
Mm-hmm.
and she
Even her
was
slow
jumping from,
songs.
yeah, the ballads. She has a very soft voice, and another artist that has a very soft voice as well too is Janae Aiko. They have the type of
Mm-hmm.
voices, Sade as well too.
Mm-hmm.
They have the type of voices where they make you feel relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Minnie Riperton is another one. God rest her
Did
soul.
you
They
hear
have the type.
Janet's 20YO album?
Yes,
I love
I
that
sure did.
album. I love it.
I like Design of a Decade, which is like her greatest
Mm-hmm.
hits, and then Velvet Rope.
Yeah.
Velvet Rope is personal to me because she spoke on so many different topics, and
Yep.
then didn't even know that she was going through
Right.
depression. It's like every album she puts out consistently, it's a different story. She tells a different story, and as an artist, your job is to tell the story of the people
Right.
because people go through these things in real life,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like, okay, what do I want to sing about today? So for you as a writer and as an artist, where do you pull the inspiration other than your childhood? Where else do you pull the inspiration from to sing about love, to sing about happiness, to sing about all of these
Mm-hmm.
things?
Um, I'm a Virgo. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I am a very emotional person. Like when it comes to any and everything, from the highs to the lows. Like when I'm good, I'm good. When I'm bad, I'm bad. When I'm in the middle, I'm in the middle. So just with everything, I like pulling everything, which is why I have to really, really, really. I've learned like in the last couple of years, like since the COVID pandemic, I had to be very selective, very aware with what I consume, who I allow myself to talk to, who I allow, in my space, like what I see, like anything, just stuff on my timeline, because is it called an empath? Is that what that was that what that's called?
Yes, there's
So
an empath, and then there's another one. I can't remember what it's called. The other one. But yeah.
yeah, so like when something really touches me, like it touches me to the core. It doesn't just touch me a little bit. I'm like, oh, all right, yeah. So I usually am just pulled to the studio. I'm pulled to the mic. I'm pulled to the music. I'm pulled to write because I have no other way to like get it out. And a lot of times, like trying to explain certain things to people, what's going on up in here, I feel like I waste my time a lot of times. Like sometimes when oh, I feel like this and this, it's like I can't get it out. The only way that I can really get it out is through the music. And the reason why is because with music, it allows me to do everything from making a sound. When you're mad, you or when you're happy, you're like, like yes. Like you don't even have to say a word. You there's a like a sound that you can feel or you can hear
Yes.
when someone is happy, a sound that you can hear when someone is sad. So I'm able to make a sound. I'm also able to write. So lyrics, just writing a story, creating a painting a picture, whether it's me feeling just creative and not really sad or not happy, just wanting to create something. It just allows me to do everything, making a sound, writing things out. It allows me to also be physical because when you're in the studio, when you're singing, sometimes you gotta, get back. Sometimes you gotta lean. Sometimes you gotta, just your muscles is moving. So it allows you to just exert yourself in every single way possible. And that's why I really love music because it allows me to 180, 360, however you want to put it. It allows me to use my body, my mind, everything all in one place. You know how some people
And
go to the gym, they're like, oh, I got to go to the gym and I got to lift the weight because I'm so mad. And
it's
this,
a routine
yeah,
for them.
yeah,
You got to get it out.
yep, yep. That's how it is for me.
And you also released two other projects.
Mm-hmm,
You released My Own
mm-hmm,
Religion and Note to Self. And then I think your next song with the current state that we're in, it touched on George Floyd's passing.
mm-hmm,
The song is called Contagious
mm-hmm.
and it went viral. Now, what was it like writing this song in the current state that we're in? Because there's so many artists that spoke to the
Mm-hmm.
people on injustice. Like I said with Janet, with Rhythm Nation. In Vogue gave us Free Your Mind,
Yeah.
which is about what we're going through right now in this climate with racism and,
Mm-hmm.
prejudice. You're judging a person without even taking the time to get to know them. Who's another one? Michael Jackson wrote "They Don't Really Care About Us," which
Mm-hmm.
was a very controversial song, and he got so much backlash for it. But the song touched on things that were going on in the climate.
Mm-hmm.
So, as an artist, your job as an artist is to cater to the
Right.
people. And in a way, I told one of my guests that when you are writing, when you are ministering music, you are like a doctor in a way because people need healing.
Mm-hmm.
And this time, in this climate, more than ever, people need healing. And that is very vital to all of us because you could never know what a person could be going
Yep.
through. For them to be in that space to write a song. And then the listener, I know for me, because I've suffered with depression
Mm-hmm.
and sadness and anger, all of these different emotions. The album that really put me in my element where it's just like I'm feeling all of these different things was the Mary J. Blige My Life
Woo.
album. And that
Mm-hmm.
album, because Mary, when she sings from pain. You can feel it
Mm-hmm.
and it's real. And that album right there, if not that album, then the 411 album. It's just
Yep.
like, okay, she's our homegirl. She's saying everything that we want to know about love
Right.
that we are feeling, like breaking up with a bad person or moving on to the next chapter. It can be difficult. Mary has given us that. But the My Life album or the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, that album too has gotten me through some dark
Yes.
times. So putting on an album and a playlist, but back to your single, Contagious,
Mm-hmm.
which is a social construct song,
Mm-hmm.
which touches on the injustice. We've seen what happened with Sonia Massey, and we're still going to continue to press them to demand justice for this woman.
Mm-hmm.
But what was it like writing this song, Contagious, and then you have any idea that it would have an impact to this day now? We're in 2024, you written this in 2020, we had a pandemic ongoing, so many things going on, civil unrest, uh,
Right.
so many things. What was it like writing this song?
I was honestly, I was pissed when I wrote this song. I was pissed because it was like back to back to back. One day this happened. One day it's like I couldn't even keep up. I wrote "Contagious." I wrote a song called "Still Tripping." It was some other songs. I think I wrote a song. I recorded a song called "Black Men" and I shot a visual to it. Just all this racism going on in the world since you know,
Yeah.
you know who became president. It's like
Oh,
he
Domingo Mussolini?
yeah,
I know.
he gave them he became a figure, sort of like I don't want to use this, but like the American flag represents something. So Trump represents a certain something. Not saying that he is whatever. he just represents a certain group of people, and he represent a certain,
Bigotry.
yeah,
Bigotry. He speaks to
right.
them.
So
Bigotry.
even if you are a fan of his and maybe you're not, racist, or you're not whatever, he's still, to me, based off of the things that he hasn't abolished, or the certain things that he hasn't like shunned
Yeah.
from his name, it just shows me that you're not capable of owning up to being what you're perceived as. So you are what you are, in my opinion. But it pissed me off so bad that I had to write this song, and I haven't been on Twitter in over, maybe it's, how, what was that, 20, what year was that, 2019, 20, think that was like
For
2019, 2018.
George
20,
Floyd, yeah, 2020, because the civil unrest
yeah,
happened.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we were seeing what was going on in Charlottesville. It was so much going on around that time. We had a pandemic, civil unrest. It was just like, Lord, what are we going to do in this time right now?
yeah. And I was so upset. I haven't been on Twitter since that, because they actually blocked me because I cussed him out. I cussed Trump out and cussed Tommy Lauren out. The song went viral under J. Cole's page because he had said something about Trump, and I commented. I said, "Yeah, I wrote this song about him," and then it just started going viral. It just started going and going. I have like hundreds and hundreds of reaction videos on my YouTube channel that are like private. I didn't want people to start unfollowing me for me like posting all of them and putting all of them public. So I put some of them up, but most of them are still hidden. But yeah, it pissed me off, and I had to write about it. And I know I offended some of my friends who are white. Um, but I felt like I had a job to do. I felt like I had to get it off of my chest. And my thing is, if you're not able to see what's going on, and you're not able to, stand shoulder to shoulder with me while this is going on, whether you believe whatever is going on or not, like, I'm your friend, I'm your family, whatever. Like, you should be standing side by side with any and everybody, because we don't have time for racism in this world. But it took a lot out of me to write that song, and I'm glad it was received well by people.
And I'm going to add on to that. You don't apologize. You don't have to apologize for anything. And you're a black man in America. So what you were feeling, we all were feeling.
Hmm.
And not only you wrote a song about it, but Terry Ellis from En Vogue, she wrote a song called Angry Black Woman.
Hmm.
And I posted about that earlier on my page. And it was about the civil unrest. And George Floyd. What else happened? Tamir Rice. All
Yep.
of these men, Freddie
Freddie
Gray.
Gray,
All of these black women, Breonna Taylor. It was so much going on
back to
when
back
he
to
was in the
back.
White House. He did absolutely nothing about it. So you don't apologize. And yeah, Elon Musk is now the owner of X. So
And he just
listen,
had an interview with him, so
he
I don't
might.
even know, because he allowed him to come back to Twitter and continue to put out a horrible narrative and all these bad things, and then supposedly he got blocked, and now he got his own platform. So I don't know if I trust Elon either.
He's a Trump supporter.
Oh,
He's
yep.
a Trump supporter for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nina Simone said this. She said, an artist's duty, as far as she is concerned, is to reflect the times. And as an artist, that is your job to reflect the times of us as black people. You
Mm-hmm.
spoke out as a black man saying, I am angry, I am upset, because the rage that you were feeling was the rage that we all were feeling. For this man to be able to go off scotch free and get a slap on the wrist, the same for Breonna Taylor, the same for Sonia Massey, who we just recently
Yep.
lost. And the what is it? The sheriff is refusing to step down.
Isn't that
So
crazy?
you are saying what people are thinking. We feel anger. We feel rage. That
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, the black voice, you're trying to silence the black voice, which you can never do because you have black artists out here who are using their platforms and their microphones and amplifying their voices and saying, hey, this person's life matter also. And as far as
Mm-hmm.
Domingo Mussolini, he did not even contact family, wish them condolences or nothing while he was
Isn't
president.
that
He
crazy?
did not.
Isn't that crazy?
Not at
It's
all.
it's 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 sick. It's sad. And as an artist as well, I have to remind myself, I am an artist. I am a creator. I do like to put music out. I like to speak my mind. I also have to be mindful that these people are crazy. And because I may say something that may offend, piss somebody off, they may not agree, because I'm a public figure, I post where I'm going to be performing. I put my business out there. When I say public figure, I have to be careful. Somebody might show up to my show and try to beat my ass, or somebody might try to show up to my show and try to kill me because, oh, I offended Trump. But it's crazy. We had so many other opinions about every other thing in the world, from, sexuality to people's, other personal business, celebrity gossip. Nobody gets that upset to where they want to shoot and kill somebody. But you say something about Trump, this man that stands for racism and grabbing women by their private parts and stuff like that. Oh, now you want to jump up and kill and hurt somebody. But where's that same energy when the people in Flint have dirty water and they can't drink and they can't bathe and they can't take care of their families and stuff?
Absolutely.
Where's that energy with the hurricane relief down in New Orleans when the levee broke and all this chaos was going on in the world with? Where's that same energy and same love, and well, not love, but the same aggression towards helping people, in poverty, help people to, the people that are crossing the border and stuff like that? It's so much stuff that's going on in the world. You guys want to kill people for not liking Donald Trump? Nah.
Or cause
But I do have to
harm to
I
people.
do have to be aware, like I said, of what I say,
Absolutely.
because these people are crazy.
They are. They live in an alternate universe. We're in the real world. In reality, they live in an alternate universe. And the only way we can prevent them from causing harm to people is they need to be deprogrammed.
Did
And
you did you
that's going to take a
did
lot.
you see what happened at Taylor Swift's concert recently?
I did. And that's exactly what I was going to say to you, because it not only happened at Taylor Swift's concert, but it's happened at a number of other artists' concerts as well too, where someone winded up getting hurt or
Yeah.
injured. And it's just like, for you being this artist, political,
Hmm.
or you have a target on your back instantly.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that, and I haven't publicly said this, that's one of the things that bothers me as a creator and as an artist. For so long when I was little, I grew up and I was like, yeah, I want to be like Michael Jackson. I want to be like this. And now as an adult, you see the things that Michael actually went through. Back in the day, we didn't have this much exposure, or we weren't consuming as much. So now we're just consuming everything. Now as a creator, and now as someone who's an adult, and I'm able to look and do deep dives into like behind the scene videos and homemade videos that Michael made, these interviews and stuff that I didn't really get a chance to really see up front because I was a child, so I only caught it maybe if it was on E! News, a clip. Michael said touring was hell. Michael didn't like the paparazzi. Michael didn't like the music industry. Michael didn't like anything about the industry that wasn't about the fans or the music. He didn't like it. He didn't like the touring. He didn't like the paparazzi. He didn't like doing interviews. He didn't like the tabloids. He didn't like the media. Nothing. So now, as an artist, I'm like, damn, I kind of need all of these things. I need, the media. I need it. But at the end of the day, I have to just be careful because these things can ruin your life. Like, look at, and I hate to throw people under the bus. I don't. This is not me talking about people, but look at Kanye. I love Kanye to death. His music is amazing. He's a great artist. He's talented. But look what the industry has done to him. It's sad. And we want to give so much, and it's like now the internet tells us we got to sit on live all day. We got to tell the world about ourselves in order for people to like our music, for in order for people to like us. Now we have to, dress crazy, or we have to go and trip people in Walmart, and make fun of people to gain attention
Right.
to our talent, to our music. It's not about the talent anymore, and it's sad. It's really sad because I'm kind of afraid. Not that I won't make it per se. It's just that I'm not going to compromise my health, my life, and who I am, my morals and stuff, just to be famous. Because I'm fine with having hundreds of songs that nobody knows is good, and deep down inside, I'm like, yeah, I'll be in my car riding, listening to my music. I have my music in my ear while I'm at work. Like, yeah, you can't tell me shit. So if I don't, if it's not in God's plan for me to ever be on that level, I'm fine because I know what it's like before I even got a chance to almost touch it. Back then they didn't. Artists like TLC, Michael Jackson, they didn't. They was just in it for, the love, the passion. When they got to that door, they got through the door. A bunch of vultures, snakes, people stealing their music. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So it's hard. It's
Shout outs
crazy.
to my brother, the K2 spot.
What a
Definitely go and check him out. And being in this industry, you build bonds with people. I call K2 my brother because he's been there with me from. We met in 2020 around. It was so crazy how we met. We met back during the time the pandemic hit,
hmm
and we just ever since then we continue to keep in touch with each other. When I tell you, he texts me, he calls to make sure I'm okay,
nice.
and that's the type of bonds because in this industry, like you said, it's very fickle with people trying to snake you or steal your ideas, steal your music, as you mentioned with TLC and so many artists. And I can take it a step further with the paparazzi because I've had offers about taking this
Hey,
platform
thanks.
to a national
hmm
network. And I'm just like, I want to do it independently on my own
Yep.
terms. I'm not ready for that yet. I already have a target on my back. I'm black, I'm trans, and I'm a
Yep.
woman. And I already have targets on my back being thrown at me because I'm going to be experiencing transphobia,
Yep.
misogyny, and
Yep.
misogynoir. Misogynoir is sexism towards black
Oh, I
women.
didn't know
So I'm already
that.
experiencing. Yes, misogynoir
Wow.
was a term that was coined by Moya Bailey in 2009. And it affects both biological women and trans women. So with me having this platform, it's like, okay, we don't want to hear your voice. It's the same for our girl T.S. Madison. She experiences it on a
I love
daily.
her.
And if not her, then Laverne Cox or Angelica Ross, the next trans girl and the next trans girl. So I mean, we're going to experience it all across the board. We're going to have targets on our back. But T.S. Madison has what she's done. She's broken down the
All,
door
all of them.
unapologetically.
All of them.
And is able to get into these spaces. But she said one thing, and I totally agree with her on that. It's like, yes, I'm rich, I got this, I got that, but I'm I'm still fearful for
Yeah.
my life. And I remember her
Yeah.
saying that what on Tamron Hall, she said, I'm still in fear for my life. Tamron asked her, are you scared? And she said, yes, I fear for my safety sometimes. I'm a trans black
Yeah.
woman, and I am too. And I'm in rural South Carolina. So
Ooh.
I instantly have a target on my back. People have starting to recognize me when I go out. And
hmm
it's not like, to cause harm, but they're just saying, we love your voice. We love your platform.
Right.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Smooches. We love you. We adore you. And then you have some that are just like in curiosity, they stare. And I'm just like, I don't mind you staring.
Right.
But again, I have to be cautious. I have to watch my surroundings because people can have the wrong intentions. And I've had offers for this platform to be taken to national
hmm
that were like a CBS and NBC. But I'm just like, no, I'm good here. I like what I do, but it's still reaching the
Right.
masses for me doing it this way. I could do it on that level, but it's a lot that comes with it. So I definitely agree with you on
Right.
that.
And then you have, guys or whoever want to, be involved, and then they're on the low, and then all of a sudden now this, it could be a possibility that, somebody might find out, oh, or now, what I'm saying, and then they do things to try to harm and hurt you. That's stuff that I don't like.
Yeah, it's dangerous for if you're in the queer community, you're black and then you're in the queer
Yep.
community, or what I like to call intersectionality. It is dangerous. But we see a lot of artists like Laverne Cox, Avery Wilson, as I mentioned, T.S. Madison. So many of them have now been very, very at the
hmm
forefront of being vocal and saying, hey, I'm here in this space too. You can't exclude me. And even going out, we still have to be careful and cautious and watch out because it is dangerous for us too.
Yeah.
And it is very, very important that you have a small group of people. Like Madison has her group,
hmm
and I have my group of people behind me too who support me. And K Tooks is one of those people, as I've mentioned. And it's very likely in this business that you create bonds with other
hmm
artists or other content creators. And there's no rivalry with me or any other content creator that I can name. If you guys haven't seen it on YouTube about me, you're putting Miss Stevie, that means I don't have any rivalry with anyone. I'm cool with everyone. There's some I just choose to stay my distance away
hmm
from. But again, it's all about finding your tribe that works for you. My circle is very, very small. So as it pertains to Michael and the paparazzi, yeah, I've seen it when he goes out. I remember watching this. I think it was a documentary on him. He did a behind the scenes where he literally would have to disguise himself going out
Yep.
because if he got recognized, it would be a frenzy. I mean, fans, paparazzis, cameras
Hmm.
everywhere. And he would have to cover his face and do all of these things. Because I remember Janet said it in the interview that Michael would disguise himself and go shopping just like a regular person
Hmm.
at different places. And we wouldn't even know it was him. He'd go in and get out. We
Yeah.
wouldn't know.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, you gotta be strong with this. I mean, you have to be. I don't.
It is not for the
It's
faint-hearted.
not. I think the people see like, yeah, I want to have 1 million, followers, and I want to have this. Yeah, that stuff is nice when you just think about people knowing who you are. It bigs your ego. At the
Yeah.
same time, like, can you imagine going outside of your house, or maybe you can't even live in a normal neighborhood because people know that you are who you are, and so now you have people like, I think when T.S. Madison had gotten to it with somebody, somebody put her address out there, so then she had to go put cameras around her house and put fences and stuff around certain things in her backyard because people were trying to play games with her. I think when the stuff with her and Kaya was going on, they put her address out there. Even with Kaya, people put her address out there. People started showing up to her house and stuff. So it's like, it's scary when you try to do this stuff out of love, out of passion or whatever, and then people want to just show up to your house or follow you to work, and you got to kind of be careful. Like, even just little old me right now, like, I still make sure I watch things before I get in my car. I make sure I look outside the door, not trying to be big headed or like, oh yeah, because I'm not famous yet, but I'm just saying, it's, you never know who's watching you, even at the little platform that you may have. Like, it may be, you may have a stalker. Like, look at the Bodyguard, Whitney Houston, that the fan was a stalker, and then he tried to kill her. So.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. 100%.
Mhm.
So we're going to shift gears here. All right. So you have some new music coming out, but before we get to the new music, the new EP that is dropping sometime next month,
Mhm.
you gave us Euphoria, and I've listened to the single, like drinking Chardonnay on a good Sunday morning.
Mhm.
What was it like writing Euphoria?
I think Euphoria, I wanted to put out something that I was kind of frustrated because I felt like I was getting in my own way of my success, of my everything. And so I wanted to write a song about something that was positive, something, because everything else either about love, or about a breakup, or about, racism, with the contagion, stuff like that. I wanted to write something um, for myself, first and foremost, and for people who were experiencing the same thing that I was going through. I think for such a long time, I never saw my music or thought about music as, like you were saying earlier, something to heal
Yeah.
people, something for people. I always saw it as, oh, I want to have numbers. It was just me, 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 me. Until a friend of mine, his name is Jay Larry, I was telling him, like, I'm gonna wait to put out Note to Self because it's not ready yet, and I'm just holding on to it because it's not done. He was like, man, if you don't just put that music out, he's like, the music is not just for you. You may not like it, but somebody else, it may touch them and be the greatest song that they've ever heard. It may help them change their life. It may help them to exercise. It may help them to stop doing drugs. It may help them to get out of that abusive relationship. It might help them to, see themselves in
Yes.
a different way. So don't just think about yourself. And I think that's what I was thinking about when I wrote Euphoria. That was one of the first songs that I actually wrote for, like, everybody, and myself included. That was the first song that I probably ever wrote about just something in general, and I wanted people to feel and be inspired and be touched by it. So it took a lot for me to put in there. I think I wrote something about my brother, losing my brother in there, and stuff like that. So yeah, Euphoria is one of those songs that you put on when you want to, feel good, because it's one of those songs that it has a lot in it, but it's a hopeful song. Like, I'm on a journey, I'm on a search for something more than, reality. I'm on a journey. I'm on a search for something more than a fantasy. And that was just me talking about um kind of being indecisive about my life. So when I said I'm on a journey. I'm on a search for something more than reality. I'm like, okay, the reality is this. Is there more to reality? And then I'm like, oh well, maybe I don't want the reality. Maybe I don't want, the real. Maybe I want something that's, a fantasy, something that'll just make me feel good for the moment. And then I'm like, well, is there something more than that? I was like, well, is there more than the reality and more than the fantasy? So what do you actually want? And so that's why I'm like, I'm on a journey to discover it. And at the end, I just keep repeating myself, you gotta, 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 you gotta find peace. And that's like the key to it all. Whatever the peace is, that's where you need to go.
Yes. Now, you have something special coming next month on the 13th,
Mm-hmm.
and the EP is titled "Got Love."
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about where you got the title
Mm-hmm.
from and where the inspiration for the title came from. Because we seen
The
you drop the teaser. This was what, just 2 days ago.
Yeah.
You put out a teaser saying, "Are you ready for us to give it to you?"
Yep.
We're ready for it. So, what can we expect with the project, and where did you get the inspiration for the title from?
I'm super excited about this project because it's like a appetizer for the main album that's to come. That's called Heartbreaker. So this is me like, and I can't even stop like smiling and laughing because it's just like, it's just so much good music that for such a long time I've been putting out music that just has not been me. I've put out so many songs that there are pieces of me, but they have not been like the core of me. The core of me is R&B. The core is the Luther, the Rick James, the Little Richard, the Ray Charles, the Gerald Levert, the all of that, like the Michael, the Whitney. And now I'm able to create that type of music because I have the skills. My voice has evolved and it's changed and it's grown, and I'm better at, producing the vocals and stuff like that. So I'm able to really do what I want to do. So Got Love, it's a collection of songs. I believe I'm kind of still going through like how many songs I'm going to have on it. Like the deadline that I have to submit it to the platforms is by the end of this week. So I have like two songs that just need like a verse on it and a chorus, and then I'm done and I can just send it off. But I made sure that I put the release date out because I wanted to hold myself accountable. A lot of times I'm like, oh, it's not done yet. Oh, I'm gonna add this song. Oh, no, the release date is out, the teaser is out, everything is out. So it's like now you have to live up to this. So make sure you put it out and it's the best that you can possibly put out. So God Love just came to me because these collection of songs that came from um, the main album is something that I wanted to give so people weren't waiting for such a long time. So Heartbreaker, um, I don't know if I should talk about, like, do you want me to talk about Heartbreaker as well or just Got Love?
If you want to, it's up to you. The title is what drew us in, and then when you put out the
Right.
teaser, is what drew me.
Right.
But if you want to, you can give us a little insight as to, the backstory behind recording this album. You don't have
Okay.
to necessarily give us the play-by-play.
Okay. So Heartbreaker, it basically talks about like love and talks about going through those stages of the relationship, but also the core of it, which is a little bit of a twist. In turn, I'm the heartbreaker as well. So I'm not just getting my heart broken. It's like I got my heart broken, I accepted it, I, took you back. I'm, in it. But then I want to play the game that you play. So now I'm gonna hurt you.
Ooh.
So like we're playing tit for tat, and then at the end we kind of find love, and I kind of chill out. You chill out. We learn a little bit more about each other, and now we're good. So Got Love is like the precursor to Heartbreaker. So I'm giving you little bits of the album in a smaller form. So yeah, in the I don't know if I'm gonna put out a single, like a first single, or just drop the whole project for people to hear because it is an EP. So I want to give people as much, new music to listen to as possible. But yeah, Got Love is basically a pre listen to the album. So I can't wait for people to hear it. And it should have about 6 to 7 songs. So I can't wait.
All right, September 13th. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
you guys go and pre-order. The link
Mm-hmm.
is in Vontae's bio. Go and check it out, and check out Euphoria as well too. Again, like I said, Chardonnay on a Sunday morning. Your
Ooh,
voice is so rich.
thank you.
So
Thank
definitely go
you.
and check out these singles. Now, with your music being out here, because you have been giving us music, when I asked you in the beginning of this interview, how's everything been going for you? You said it's been like a breeze. Just you've just been giving us music
Mm-hmm.
after music, interview after interview. I've been paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is next in the chapter for Vontae?
I want to do a lot more acting, and I want to do more into the. I want to get more into my business, of just everything. I want to work. I'm working on a a lifestyle brand as well when it comes to like body wash and cologne, because I love body washes and colognes and like facial scrubs and like those sorts of things. I love those, and I always wanted my own, because there's certain things in the stuff that I buy that I wish wasn't in there. And there are things that I wish were a little bit more into it, so I want to kind of create my own, so go in that lane. I always thought that, oh, I gotta have 1 million followers and I gotta, a big famous. No, you don't. You can start small where you are with who you are, and grow it from there. You don't have to wait until you're famous in order to, do anything. So I'm gonna start doing that. I have some acting auditions coming up. I just had a couple of them last month, so, for a movie that's being filmed in here in Baltimore. Um, so I'm trying to do some acting, get more into that, because I did something with Tyler Perry. It was like a extra role on Have and Have Nots, and I did something with Seth Rogen, a movie called An American Pickle that came out. So I'm trying to do more acting and just get more into the business side of things. Constantly keep putting more music out and
Yes.
just challenging myself to, be all that I can be, and not get so caught up in my head thinking, oh, it has to be perfect, or I got to be, in this place to do this. You don't have to be anywhere to do anything. You just have to start. And my message just in life, like right now, for any and everybody, is to just show up. Like, you may not have an idea what you're going to do, how you're going to do it. You may not have a plan. You may think that you suck. You may think that you're not pretty enough. You're not good enough. You're not whatever. Just show up. You don't know what your body, your mind, your spirit, God, anything around you, somebody could be outside of your circle. You say, oh, well, I'm not going to go to this audition. I'm not talented enough, or I'm not whatever. You could go to this audition. On your way into the audition, the casting director needed an extra hand. Somebody called out. They called Tyler Perry to come down. Tyler Perry came down, was there, wasn't even playing. You showed up. He didn't pick, they didn't pick you. You're walking out in the street. Tyler Perry getting in his limousine. He turned around. Hey, I liked you. Da, da, da. Gave you his information. Now look, you're on Tyler Perry. So show up. Just show up. That's all you got to do. You may not feel like going to the gym. You may feel tired. Just go. Even if you do something and it's small, even just show up. That's all I have to say. And I keep telling myself to do that. Just show up. Get up every day, put your best foot forward, and just show up. You don't know what could happen. So many of the things that amazing that have happened for me or to me came just because I showed up. Like, I go to different artists' shows. I go to like different events, even when I don't even like the music, or I may not even, have known the person or know anything about it. I just show up because, you could be a help to somebody and somebody could be a help to you. So why not? Just show up.
Yeah, and I mean, someone said this yesterday when I did my girl talk with Shayla. In the comments, they said we need to be in these spaces.
Yeah.
Black artists need to be in these spaces.
Yeah.
So it is important. Again, it goes back to the quote that I said that Nina Simone said, which is, "It is the job of the artist to tell the people's
Hmm.
story." So for you as an artist, you have to let your voice be heard in all of these spaces.
Right.
So I agree 100%. Show up.
Yeah, that's it. Like, even something, like this, or people may think like, oh, well, if it's not BET, or if it's not this, I ain't going. You don't know where people are. You don't know who's watching. You don't know what is going on. Just show up. You never. I'm trying to. I wish people understood that a lot more. Like, just show up, and show up for yourself. Like, most importantly, show up for yourself. And when your friends need you, when your family needs you, like show up. Like life is so short. It's so many different things that's going on in the world right now. Um, and we all need each other. That's the thing people don't
Yes.
realize. Like we need each other. I need you, you need me, we need, like, everybody needs each other, because at the end of the day, if something goes bad in this country, like when COVID happened, what happened? We all needed each other. We needed those essential workers to get that food delivered to our house, right? We needed um the different services, like the truck drivers. Like, I'm a truck driver. Like, we needed truck drivers to bring the food, the groceries, to do all these different things. So we all need each other. Be there for people, and most importantly, be there for yourself. Because if you're not gonna be there for yourself, you're just gonna continue to getting in your own way.
And you know who else said that? I had to get out of my own way. It was Mary J. Blige, and she was right. She said, I had to get out of my own way. We cannot become set and just staying stuck in that mode. Now it's time for us to work
Yeah,
together. We have 83 more
yeah,
days in this upcoming election cycle.
yep.
So now it's the time for us to fix it and work together. So before we close out this interview, Fashion Dolls, we're going to have some fun with Vontae.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So the new game that we have here in the dollhouse is called the Fab Five. And you guys know that I love luxury. I love perfumes. I love beauty products. I love makeup. I love hair. I love fashion. I love all of these things. So Vontae has to tell me five things that he can't live without that are fab. All right, are y'all ready for the Fab Five?
Okay.
And then the next one, Miss Stevie gets put in the hot seat. So Vontae is going to ask me as many questions as he wants to. Dating, life, relationship, fashion, beauty, whatever he wants to know. And for my new viewers, you will get to know a little bit about me through his questioning, all right? So, what are five things that are fabulous that Vontae can't live without?
Hmm. I can't live without a nice body wash. Like I was just saying, I need a nice body wash that has some oil in it, like a lot of
Mm,
lather, that creates a lot of lather. Like, I have to have a good body wash. You got to take a bath every day, you got to shower every day. So I need that.
yes.
Um, Something else that I need that's fab. Um, Ooh, I like to smell good too. So cologne, like I have to have a nice cologne. Um, do, 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 what else? What else? What else? Is fab like a general statement, or fab, is that something that is fab to me?
Something that's fab to you. Like I said, I love perfumes and I love vintage jewelry, and I also collect vintage Barbies. Like you guys have seen some of my Barbie collection because I
Yeah,
brought the dolls on the
yeah.
show here with me. But something that is fab to you.
Um, Nostalgia. Like, I have to have some sort of nostalgia around me, near me. Um, just I love just nostalgic stuff. Like, in here in the studio, I have like these little small like dolls of like Tommy Pickles and Angelica, and then I
Uh,
have like the Hey Arnold characters. Like, I love the '90s, '80s, like anything nostalgic. I love it. Um, I also have to have music. Like, I have to have good music, fab music, like to fit every vibe. Like I said, the Anita Bakers, the Beyonce's, the Michael Jackson, the Ari Lennox, the Duran
uh,
Bernard, um, just a fabulous music. And people. I have to have fab people around me, people who are um they have a positive light, people who are not always down and you know what I'm saying? Like, I need people who are um just, they love life, they get up every day, they inspire me, I inspire them, and I need those people. Close family, friends, just, yeah, fans, anybody. I think I got one more. One other fab thing. I'm big on like plants and nature. That's fab to me. Nature, going outside, hearing the trees, hearing the crickets at
oh,
night. just like the small things that I feel like get so cluttered because we're always on our phone, we're distracted, we don't
And
even.
indoors,
And
ever since the pandemic, we were
yep,
inside.
yep. I gotta hear water. I gotta hear the trees. I gotta feel the grass. You know what I'm saying? I just have to be in sync with that because I'll lose my mind just not having that. So that's I gotta smell good. I gotta feel good. I gotta have some good music. Gotta have fabulous, good people, and just in nature. I mean, yeah. I think, yeah.
All right, fashion dolls. That is Vontae's Fab Five. All right, my heart is beating fast for this next segment. I always get so nervous because I don't know what the guests are going to
Mm-hmm.
ask me. So I'm going to pass it on down to Vontae Fashion Dolls. It is time to turn those tables. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So take it away, Vontae.
Okay. So I want to know who in the entertainment industry and who in your personal life inspires you to be great.
I would have to say my mom first. My mom has been a very pivotal point, and you guys can see a lot of my mom through me because she's been very out. My mom is very outspoken. I'm surrounded by amazing black women, from my aunts to my cousin, and they're all bold. They're outspoken,
Mm-hmm.
and in their own divine way, they fought for what they believe in. They don't give up. And my mom is always one to not let things to defeat her. And I think I take that same trait from her because we are our parents' children, and we look just alike
Mm-hmm.
too. So, um, my mom has been very, very pivotal. Now, from the entertainment industry, she's a little controversial to y'all, but I love her and how outspoken she is and what she believes in. I would have to say my girl T.S. Madison.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yep. I love her.
she's unapologetically herself,
Mm-hmm.
and not she's a trailblazer because she fights for what she believes in. She doesn't back down.
Yep.
I could have said Monique. I love Monique too,
Mm-hmm.
the comedian. Monique is another one because she speaks up for black women,
Right.
and so does T.S. Madison.
Mm-hmm.
They both speak up for the queer community,
Yep.
and they fight what they believe in. And when they say something,
Oh, they
they
mean it.
stand
Mm-hmm.
down on business. And these are the same. That's the same way that I am.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I love T.S. Madison. She's and I know she has to feel amazing. Um, a lot of people in the industry, a lot of people just in general, kind of have a facade that they put on. And of course, like we all sometimes, because I can't even exclude myself, sometimes we have to put on a facade to kind of fill that space where we may not feel the best today. So I'm gonna pretend, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's fine. You know, if that's what gets you out of the bed and gets you to the gym or gets you out of the bed, gets you to work, cool. At the end of the day, if you know who you are and you love who you are, you know, double plus. But I love that she walks in everything. And I know she has to feel good knowing I walked out here ex- basically expressing everything. Showed you who I am, wig off, clothes off, everything. In my good, my bad, my ugly. And I'm successful because I'm who I am. Like that has to be the greatest feeling that anyone could ever feel, being applauded and being accepted, not maybe not by everybody, but in a general sense. You got Beyonce, you got Taraji P. Henson, you got your mom. I mean, that's most important. She has her mom with her, beside her, crying with her, championing with her
Yeah.
at these award shows, doing these things, and her mom still being alive. People don't have everybody doesn't have their mom with them. They don't have their father, to be beside them, to love them, being themselves in the most dramatic way that she is, knowing her with the big personality and then changing her
Oh
whole
yeah.
entire life to feel something in her heart that she felt like she needed to do and she needed to be, and have her mom beside her saying, F y'all, like I'm gonna ride with my daughter. Like that has to be the most amazing feeling. I get chills every time I think about her and her story.
And she's just a trailblazer in her own right. Everything that she's been through,
Mm-hmm.
and to see where she's at now, to be at the Emmys, like she's an Emmy
Isn't
winner.
that
She
crazy?
is now a producer. Like she does it all,
Yep.
and I admire that. And like you said, she's quick. I kind of chuckled because yes, she's quick to take off a wig. She does
She
not
don't
care, and
play.
she will eat her food right there. And I'm the same way too. So I love how unapologetic and bold and real she is. And so is Monique. And what I love about them is that they stand firm on it. They say something, and it's like, okay, do you want to backtrack the statement? And she's like, oh no,
Mm-hmm.
she's not about to back down on it. I said I'm the same way. When I stand on a statement, I stand on that statement.
Yep.
So that's what I love about Madison. She's always going to be one of the books for me.
Mary J. Blige said, "Take me as I am, or have nothing at all."
Right, the real, because they glamorize it sometimes. They want you to be this, and it's just like,
Yep.
no, this is what's real. People want to know the truth.
Lunella's
In a
that way
day and
too.
age where, right, where everything has been so like, okay, we're going to give it to you this way. No, give me the real,
Yep.
and Madison will give you the real
Yep.
right there.
She will. Another question I have: what's your sign, like your astrology sign, and what are some of the traits that you believe represent you the best because of your sign, or just knowing who you are? Like what from that sign represents you best?
I am a Scorpio, October 31st. And some of the traits of Scorpios is that, well, there's a misconception that we're all wild, we're all crazy. I'm wild in my own way. I like adventure. I
Mm-hmm.
like fun, wild adventure, but not wild, crazy, going off on the people mad, angry all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just a bubbly, fun, outgoing person.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some of the traits that some Scorpios have. I know for me personally, I love to have a good time. I'm always wanting to be the life of the party. I like to go out and hang out with friends and family, and I'm always in the know of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, my island Yankee who just came in here a few minutes ago, he said she's like a chameleon. You know how to blend in certain environments, and I do. If I'm uncomfortable with a certain situation, I turn that situation away, turn that situation. I couldn't get it out. Turn the situation around for the better and make it work for me
Mm-hmm.
so that I can be comfortable. Say, for instance, okay, um, the lights went out during an interview.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. That actually did happen. And I came right back and I said, you know what? It was funny. We laughed about it. My guests laughed about it. So I worked through it. I went on ahead and I did my part one and my part two because I wanted to do the interview in one
Mm-hmm.
shot. But God said, you know what? It's not like it.
Right.
So you're going to have to do a part one and a part two. And it was raining and thundering outside. So I know how to blend in and make things work for me. And
Mm-hmm.
Scorpio, some of us, we're like chameleons. We make things work for us in our temperaments, shall I say.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I believe that. I've seen and know some Scorpios. Yep. 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 Yep.
Other than
Um.
us being very sexual or wild, that's a misconception that people have about us. Well, I'm very, yeah, I
She's
am
a
very sexual.
super freak.
I'm
Super
not
freak.
apologetic for that. But as far as being wild and crazy and going off the wall, no, not
Mm-hmm.
really. I mean, in my teen years, I might have, yes, but now I'm just sort of, now that I'm in my 30s, when you hit 30, it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, okay, I have a nephew now. I've sort of toned it all the way
Mm-hmm.
down. Just like, okay, I
Right.
don't want my nephew to see his aunt and here going off on somebody. So, yeah.
Right. Right. What do you feel like is the biggest like as far as fashion, what do you feel like I'm trying to I'm trying to say it. Um how do I say this? I'll say this. How would you describe how you represent yourself fashion wise when you go out into the world, like in different elements, different places? Like, how do you represent yourself, and how do you feel people perceive you with like through your fashion when you go out?
When I go out, I get compliments because people watch the show. You know, I'm in
Mm-hmm.
a small town, so people watch the show and they be like, "Oh my God, I love the dress that you had on." My mom is definitely mom, and our moms will let us know every single
Mm-hmm.
thing. She'll say that dress is a little too short, or the slit is showing off too much. Like one dress that I wore last week, the black dress. V. Brown actor singer said that slit is
Mm-hmm.
dangerous, and it had a very high slit. It was a black evening gown. And I'm always one to not shy away from my
Hmm.
sensuality or my femininity.
Right.
And when people go out, when I go out in the world, there are two main accessories that I have, and that is my hair and my
Hmm.
nails. And it turns
Hmm.
heads. And people will ask, "Oh my God, your hair is so beautiful. Your nails are so beautiful. How do you do it?" I get showered with
Hmm.
compliments. So I mean, I love it. I love it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, and I also know that, when people go out like looking like you, and they go out and they kind of shine and radiate like this, personality, and I honestly feel like it changes people's like their feelings, like, wow, like, okay, if they're not a hater, you know what I'm saying, like, because when I see somebody,
Right.
I'm a very outgoing person. I can talk to a baseball stadium of people and pass out hot dogs, you know what I'm saying, like, I that's me. But if I were to see you, I'd be like, okay, all right, got the heels on, where we going today? Like, I'm that type of person. And when I see people living in their truth, and loving who they are,
Yes.
and they taking care of themselves, they got their hair done and nails done, even if it's just, where you going? Oh, I'm just coming here just to shop. And you put that on? Okay. You feeling good about yourself. So that kind of, changes your how you feel it. It passes it on to other people. That's why I say, try to carry the goodness in yourself along when you go out to the stores, when you go out on the road. Don't be cutting people off and cussing people
Oh
out.
yeah.
Because the thing is that when you do that to other people, it makes them upset. So now what they gonna do? They gonna pass it. They upset. Now they gonna be driving, cutting somebody else off, and so that other person gonna be mad because that person cut them off because you cut them off, and now they're gonna be mad. Now you
Domino
got a whole group
effect.
of people pissed off and mad in the day. They get to work, and now when you and I call because something's wrong with our iPhone, or because something wrong with our laptop or whatever, we calling on the phone. Now they're pissed off because somebody done pissed them off on her. So you see what I'm saying? So carry the goodness in yourself when you go places. Even like the saying goes, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing
There
at
you
all. So
go.
carry the goodness with you when you go places, so that way you can help change the world. Everybody's so, and I know I get off topic a lot because I just get passionate about stuff. When smile at people who yell, right, yeah, that'll really make them mad. Because when people try to make me mad or whatever, like, it's bad news for you, because you cannot make me mad. You can't, whatever, like, I'm so centered within myself, you just can't. But just like I said, carry yourself, and when people see you, they'll pick up on that good energy, and hopefully it'll help them have a good day too. But yeah, so yeah. I'm trying to think of another question. Another question. What's something about yourself that you want to grow and like develop? Whether it's like a skill, or whether it's like just personally, or just what's something that you want to grow and build on?
That sometimes it's not your time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've now come to realize that, it's not your time.
Mm-hmm.
We work so hard, and we get so caught up working into these things, and we're
Yep.
just like, okay, when is it going to be my time? When is it going to be my turn? And sometimes God will tell you, not right now,
Right.
not right now.
Right.
And I've been told that my entire life. But if you can't wait for that time, you go and create your
Right.
own time. And that's what I've done all my life. I've been told, no, you can't do this, and I've been given opportunities, and amazing opportunities now, because I've went and I built my own opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and people see that passion and that drive. So that is something that I've learned to work
Mm-hmm.
on, which is sometimes it's not your time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. One of my biggest um inspirations in life, and I have her books, and I read and I watch all of her interviews every day. And I'm the type of person, I could watch interviews over and over and over. I can listen to the same song, I can read the same book, I can
I
do the same thing over and over and over and over and over, because like I said, I'm just so passionate about things. That's just how I am. Jennifer Lewis. Everywhere she goes, everything that she says, she's the most realest person. She might cuss you out, she might do whatever, but it's
That's
always
awesome.
with love. And I love that about her. And one thing that she said that goes with what you just said is, don't think that you're going to be happy when you get there, because she said that if you're not happy now and you're miserable and you're going through hell and da da da, and you think that you're going to become famous tomorrow night because you're this talented person, but you messed up on the inside and you nasty and mean to people, or you got a bad disposition about yourself. You think that when you get fame, that's going to make you happy. Oh yeah, and I'm nice to people and I'm giving away all my money. She said no, that's you're going to carry yourself when you go wherever you are. So while you're planning and preparing for that next table that you want to sit at, you better be doing the work, because when you get to that table with Tyler Perry or Oprah Winfrey or Naomi Campbell or whoever you want to be sitting at a table with, if
Yes.
you nasty, mean, and you ain't got yourself right, you're gonna be dismissed from that table. So you waiting your whole life to be prepared to get to this next level, and you ain't doing that work while you got the time and you're not that distracted, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening. Because, and another part to what you said, it was two things I wanted to say. I would prefer to have 1 year of everything that I ever wanted in life if I had
Mm,
to wait, versus having it now, not being prepared, being overwhelmed, being emotionally, mentally, physically distressed and messed up, getting it in 1 day and losing it. So if I gotta wait until I'm 45 to have a successful music career where people like my music and appreciate my music, and the times of the music industry has changed, so be it. In the meantime, like I said, I'ma still create music. I'ma still love. I'ma still treat people right. I'ma still pass on good vibes, good energy to people, and make sure that the more important things in life, like I said, peace, your happiness, your health, all of that's taken care of, I'm good. So if it's for me, if God has it in store for me, if it's
oh
gonna
yeah.
happen for me, good. It's I
My
wait.
mom would always tell me that what's for you is for you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
absolutely.
And it may not be in just in the way that you envision it either. So like I said, when we see certain things, we have to. I think it's we just get so overwhelmed sometimes because we want the fame and the money and whatever. Look at the people who have it. What are they saying? What are they all saying? It takes a lot of time away from their family. They don't get to see their family. Their personal life has been stripped away from them. Like Tamar. Tamar's going through hell right now. Going through a divorce or going through whatever she's going through, her death of her sisters. She's getting back on We TV, the place that she says she was not going to come back on to do a show, right? So now she's putting herself back out there, because I don't know what her situation is, but she's putting herself back out there. And it's like, you got to deal with all of these people. So you got to be prepared for all of this stuff. So I'm taking it. Yeah, one day at a time.
That's all we can do. And in
Enjoy
this
now.
time, absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely, because there's so much more in the stars to come, and I believe it. If you put it out there, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it is. It is. Do you have any pets?
I do actually. I have a Chihuahua. His name is Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Now I think I've posted pictures of him in my story before. If not, I have to go and try to look for one
Mm-hmm.
of him. Um, Jack is like in a way like my mom, and I tell you why. Because he does what he wants to do when he wants to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you tell him, if you tell ring the doorbell and you tell him to come outside, he
Yep.
goes outside when he wants to go outside. He's very stubborn. He's like a little old man.
Mm-hmm.
So he eats when he wants to eat. He'll sit down, and if you go by, you know how dogs are. If they got a bone or something, and you give them something,
Mm-hmm.
they hover over it. That's
Yep.
what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's a little old man at heart. Yeah,
Nice, nice, nice. Um, what's something else? Hmm. Trying to think. Um, so what do you do when you're having a bad day and you can kind of feel it, that it's coming on, or it's already there? What are some of the things that you do to try to, like, center yourself and get better or get back on a grounded, place emotionally?
I write. I do a lot of writing. I have a lot of diaries. So I
Mm-hmm.
go through and I read some of my old
Mm-hmm.
diaries, things I was thinking, different moods, different feelings, different emotions, all of those different things. Or I would go and I would talk to my mom. Or, like I said, K Tukes will reach out. If he
Mm-hmm.
can see it, oh, she had a bad day, things didn't go well, let me call and see what's going on. I talk to somebody. And that is like a therapeutic outlet for me. So,
Nice, nice, nice. I like that. Yeah, communicating with people. I think a lot of people think, cutting people off and stuff like that will kind of help. It may help for a little while, but at the end of the day, like I said, we all need each other. We're humans, and I think people forget at the core of
yes,
us, we thrive off of each other. Like if you think about the Will Smith movie, I think it was I Am Legend. He went crazy because he was by himself. It was him and the dog. When the dog died, he lost his mind when he had to put the dog down because he had nothing else on the planet to share some sort of love and some sort of
yeah,
compassion with. It was nothing else. It was just him. So people don't realize that we need each other more than like we really do. So if you really are in your feelings and going through stuff, like reach out to somebody, even if it's a hey, what you doing? Can you come outside with me and can we go for a walk? Hey, can we
right.
just sit on the phone, even if we don't have nothing to talk about? I know we haven't talked since high school. It's been over 20 years, but I just needed somebody to get on the phone and talk to. Like I said, show up to where you want to receive whatever you want to receive. If you're trying to, seek and get those good vibes and positive things, you got to know where to turn to. Also, people don't know that you have to know the things that are negative as well. Don't think that you can
Oh,
just
yeah.
call and pick up the phone and talk to anybody. There were days where I was going through a lot of stuff and I called the wrong person. This person told me, "Oh, you're fine, get over it." Anyways, yeah, so I was going to the store and that right there made me feel like I couldn't call and talk to nobody or to trust anybody. So like I said, know you gotta have a set of people. You gotta have some things on the side. Like even on your good days, you need to know what can I do on my bad if I have a bad day, just in case. Where's the music? What people can you call? What things do you have? Do you like arts and crafts? Do you like whatever you need on those bad days? You have to pack a bag in order for you to survive certain things that happen in your life. Don't wait until you going through hell to try to scramble and figure out like, oh my God, who do I call?
Oh, yeah.
What do I do? Where do I go? You got a plan, while you happy, because you gonna feel like doing it while you happy. But yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel like I should be like some sort of like some sort of like what are those people called? Like a life coach.
Motivational
Yeah,
speaker
like a
or life
motivational speaker.
coach.
I just like talking and like just I don't have it all figured out. I'm still
No,
getting
everything you're saying is 100% right
yeah.
because we can't stay in the funk forever. Like I said, when I go through my darkest times, I put on
Yep.
music or I write, and everybody else has their outlet. So for
Mhm.
whatever it is that you're going through, you find someone that you know you can go and talk to.
Mhm.
And I see now it's the time who I've known for years, for a very long time. Um, K2 who was just in here. Island Yankee is so many that reach out to make sure that I'm okay. Are you good? Are you
Mhm.
straight? They
Yep.
reach out and they check on me. And those are the type of people that you check within your circle. They can tell you've been having a bad day and that
Mhm.
you're going through something, and they'll be the first ones right there. Oh, something is wrong.
Mhm.
She's not answering, or she's,
Mhm.
in a mood. So we call or we text on each other and make sure we're good.
Mhm. Yep. 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 Um, I'm trying to think of one last question. Um, is there a time when you were in school that you can think of that when you reflect on it, it makes you happy or it brings back excitement, or it gives you like oh my God, I wish I could just take myself and just transport and teleport right back in that place. It could be it could be a smell, it could be a sound, it could be a person. Like, is there something from like your school days that do that for you that you could think of?
Well, when I was going to beauty school, at the time I was in high school, And the day we went to state board, and I went back to retake one of my tests because I didn't do so well on it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And the day I got my scores printed off that I passed,
Okay.
and that was a big deal. So I remember my dad buying me pizza. I love pepperoni pizza. That is one of my
Oof.
guilty
The
pleasures.
best. The
And
best.
then getting my pro card because when you're licensed, you now get your pro card for the Sally's Beauty Store. So that was a big deal for me. I remember all those good things just started to happen. Like wow, and getting my license in my hand with my name printed off on it. So yeah, that was one of the best times. So when I see stairs, because the building had
Mm-hmm.
stairs, that's what it makes me think about.
Wow. Is that like one of your most proudest like moments in your life? Like what's one of your most proudest moments in your life?
I would say writing for this new publication, a magazine that is international, that is in the UK,
Nice.
original magazine UK, and the founder Mick reaching out to me saying we would love to have you write for for our publication,
Nice.
and I think this is around 2022, 2023 or so, and she reached out to me just randomly and said, okay, hey, we want you to write for our magazine,
Mm-hmm.
and it was not only just me, but it was other people too. And she brought me in this group where it's just like everybody has their own ideas. So that's a highlight for me right there as well too, because I've always loved fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since high school, my assistant principal, she would give me every issue of Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, and I mean the big thick issues. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what am I gonna do with this? There's so many
Right.
designers. And ever since then, my love for fashion has continued on right after high school. So I took it on and continued on with it as a career. And writing, giving my opinion on what styles are current, and people are saying, okay, we see her vision, we see what she is doing. And
Mm-hmm.
that is amazing.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like that. I think that's all the questions I can think of off the top of my head. I'm usually good with like improv and stuff. Um, I feel like I ask the most deepest questions other than like, oh, what's your favorite color and what's the like. I wanted to ask questions, um, not just to hear, but I also wanted to ask questions to kind of help to allow you to like feel something from the questions from you speaking on like a moment where you felt proud or what I'm saying, because I'm all about helping people to feel good. So
Yes,
I wanted to you know make you have some memories and make you reflect on some of the things, because a lot of times people, when we do things, everything is so fast, like you do
yes,
this today and then tomorrow you're off to something else. Like, take your time and stop trying to jump to the next thing. I know sometimes it's hard because we're all artists, we're creators, and we're trying to
yes,
be business minded, and we're trying to get to this person, next person. Like, take a second to stop and really think about what you just did. Like, did you just not realize that you went through a whole year and you accomplished so many different things, and you're just stressing yourself out to try to get to the next thing? Like, enjoy the trophy you just won. Enjoy the certificate that you just, received. Like, really think about all the
exactly.
sacrifice and the work that you just did to go to school to graduate for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that we really appreciate things and people anymore, because we're just so used to just jumping to the next thing and doing the next thing to try to, whether it's to show off or whether it's to make ourselves feel good. Like, with or without these things, you need to be amazing and you need to know that you are amazing. So, you doing those things, I know you felt good about it. So I wanted to bring it up.
And definitely, I do feel good because it's always the little simple things in life, sitting back and enjoying those memories
Mhm.
that bring back happiness
Yeah,
to us all. So
yeah,
remember that.
yeah. I think a lot of, I want to say this too, because I had to learn this as well. We can be our own cheerleaders. We can be our own things that make us feel good, our own outlet. I think so many people get caught up in like, oh my God, I'm having a nervous breakdown, or I'm whatever. Like, I don't have nobody I can call. Oh my God, I don't have a drug of choice that I could use. I don't have a I don't have the money to buy it. Like, do you get up, go outside, like just be within yourself. Go buy yourself some flowers. Stop waiting for a man to buy you flowers. Go out, and you have good credit. Go out and buy yourself a nice car. Go out and, get yourself a new
Yeah,
dress. You may not be going nowhere, but go and get yourself a new dress. Go, you work hard. We get up every day. We lose sleep. We work for these people every day. Take that money. You don't got to spend all of it. You know what I'm saying? Take that money and do something nice for yourself, for your body. Go get a healthy meal. Go to the spa and get your nails done or your feet done. Go get a massage on your neck because you've been, up all night at a desk. You know what I'm saying? Like, take care of yourself. We just get so caught up in trying to find outside things to make us feel good when you are the thing that's in control, that has the power to alter and help yourself to feel better. I just think a lot of us, we just don't believe in ourselves anymore.
absolutely,
It gets
absolutely.
lost.
So
It gets lost because there's just so many different things that, society and the internet tells us that you need to do this and do that to feel this, to feel that. Go outside. I'm telling you, if you are ever having a bad day, whoever is watching this, whether you, and I'm saying it to myself, if you're having a bad day, get up and go outside. Don't have a plan. You don't have to do anything. Just get up, go outside, put your earbuds in your ear if you don't feel comfortable walking outside or whatever. Just get up, walk out. Even if you don't want to walk, get up and sit on your porch. Guess what? You might feel like getting
yes,
up after you done got outside. You might feel like getting up and walking down the street. So do something for yourself to make yourself feel good. And I just keep telling people that because it's hard out here. Like, in the second that you need somebody, if that person doesn't call, doesn't pick up, what the are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to sink or swim? Are you going to use your arms? Are you know what I'm saying? Are you going to help yourself to survive, or are you going to just allow yourself to drown in whatever you're going through and not survive? Like, also think about this. When I'm going through something, I think about my mom. I think about the people who love me, like the people who actually care for me, not people that's online, not people who, you know, oh, they only hit you up when you post a sexy picture, when only do this, you only do that. Think about the people who care about you when you were at your lowest, people who check on you and call you. Think about, how they may feel. Think about just them in general. I feel like that'll help us to take care of ourselves and keep going. That's why they say when people have kids, a lot of times they'll do things that they normally wouldn't do for themselves because they have somebody else
yeah.
that they're thinking about. So, yeah.
And that is key. So
Hmm.
you make sure that you put yourself first. And that is the final thought of the day,
Yeah.
Fashion Dolls, which was putting yourself first. Make sure that you prioritize yourself. Make sure that you are putting you
Yeah.
first and taking care of
Don't
you.
forget
Because
about
we are like
yourself.
cars. We're always on the go 24
Yep.
7. You know, a car can go everywhere. We gas it up and we're going.
Yep.
Make sure that you are recharging and refueling your body back. And that's what I tell myself all the time. So make sure that you are pouring into yourself. Self care
Hmm.
is definitely a must. You are indeed invalid and you are
Yeah.
valid.
And put
Remember
this
that.
damn phone
And
down sometimes. I keep telling people, put the phone down sometimes and know who you are. Know who you are when this phone goes off. Know who you are. Because if you can't look in that mirror at the end of the day and smile and be happy with who you are without the filters, without this and that, come on now. You're not gonna be
exactly.
good for yourself or nobody else. You gotta be happy with who you are, and it's okay. You can work on your body if you don't like your body. If you don't like this, you don't like. It's okay. You can work on it. It's called work. It's not called magic. You know what I'm saying? It's called work. So when you actually work and you obtain those things, you're gonna feel a whole lot better. You like, yeah, I went to school for such and such amount of years and I got that certificate. Like, you went to your beauty school, you did all these different things that you needed to do, and you got the certificate. So when you think about it, you're like, yeah, I went through all this hard work and I did that. I'm proud of myself because it wasn't just the certificate that I got. I had to go through all these different things to get this thing. So yeah, you gotta don't forget about yourself. I even, like, back here on the wall up here, I took one of my acoustic tiles down and I actually started writing
Oh,
down. I took one of those down and I actually started writing down certain things that I need to do. Even the most simplest things like eating breakfast. You know, you and I, we probably get so caught up in doing our
Yes.
businesses and getting online and making sure we, taking care of our stuff online. You might forget to eat. You might forget to drink, enough water in a day. You might forget to do whatever you need to do, water the plants or whatever. You can't forget about yourself and the most important things like eating and stuff like that. So I even write down, take my vitamin or eat breakfast, stuff like that. You gotta take care of yourself.
It's imperative.
It is.
Indeed. Make sure you guys prioritize your health and take care of
Yep.
yourself. So before we close out, Fashion Dolls, this is such a great conversation with Vontae. Vontae, are there any words of encouragement? Because you've spitting so many gems throughout this
Hmm.
conversation. I feel like this is both of our master class
Yeah.
together because we both took part into giving wisdom to people.
Hmm.
So what are some words that you would like to give people during these times? Because we're seeing so much division, so much of just people are in a time of
Hmm.
uncertainty. What is some advice that you would give to people like
Um, I would say lead. I honestly just say lead with kindness with everything that you do, and be intentional about everything that you do. If your intention is not positive, don't do it. Like so many people, they do things. Oh, I'm gonna do this just to. Oh, I'm gonna do this so I can get this person fired. If your intention is not good, don't even do it.
at
Just don't.
all?
Just think about your intentions when you do things. You know what I'm saying? That's my message. Just be intentional when you do things, and if it's not positive, don't do it. And be considerate of somebody else. I know we get so caught up in moving fast, and we late for work, and you need to use your mind. It's your fault that you're late for work. It's your fault that you overslept. It's your fault that you did whatever you did that's now causing you to rush, to cut people off, to be rude and nasty to people and upset because your food wasn't ready when you ordered it over the phone. We gotta take accountability for the things that we do and realize that other people are on this planet going through things. The person that you just cut off, that you were blowing the horn at, that you ran them off the road, their son died 2 hours ago. They just left. Their son died. They just left the hospital 2 hours ago. The lady that you just cussed out because she was taking too long to walk across the street, she just got in an accident because somebody hit her 3 days ago. So she's suffering. Something happened to somebody. We are all going through something. So when you walk out into this world, present yourself with kindness and love and try to be a change to somebody else because you don't know what somebody is going through. Just because people seem strong and they walking with their head up high and like you dressing nice and looking good, somebody they're going through something. These are the things that they're doing to still be a good person in the world. They're doing the work. They're showing up. They're getting dressed. They're looking nice. They got out the house, going grocery shopping. They're going to the library. They're reading. They're doing things. Be mindful about other people and what they may be going through. You're not the only person that's going through stuff. That's my message.
Exactly. And my message right now is we have to work together, Fashion Dolls, because it is now for a time of unity.
Yep.
We're so divided right now, but you never, like as Vontae mentioned, you never know what a person could be going through unless you sit down and you have a conversation with them. And right now, it is important that we work together these next few couple of days. We're in the fight of our
We are.
lives, so make sure you guys work together. We got to stick together more than ever and have each other's backs.
Register to
That's how it should
vote.
be.
Please make sure you register to vote. If you don't know if you are registered to vote, go on vote.org, look it up, see if you're registered. If not, you can go to your local school. You can go to your local wherever to go get registered to vote. You can do it online and get registered to vote. And make sure that you vote. It's November 7th or 6th or 5th.
November 5th is the main election.
5th.
In South Carolina, it is October 21st to November 2nd, early absentee,
Yep.
and the main election is November 5th.
Yep.
Wisconsin had theirs yesterday,
Oh
so
wow.
they went out and already starting. They're already starting early voting in certain
Yeah, I did
states.
mine
So please
a
go
couple
and
months
check.
ago.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you guys get out and get it done
Yeah,
and register
please.
as Vontae.
Do not think
So
that you do not think that, oh, it's gonna win, it's gonna be this way. No, it's not. We need you to
don't
get
vote
up and vote.
the couch.
Yeah.
Don't vote the couch.
Nope.
JD Vance knows all too well about the couch, but that's a whole nother discussion
Right.
for another day. So, Vontae, where can everyone follow you and check you out?
You can follow me on Instagram, the official Vontae, YouTube, the same name, the official Vontae. Vontae is Vontae. Or you can just go to Google because I did this the other day and I just popped up all over the place. So you can go to Google and just type in Vontae, VON, put a space, and then put TAE. And then all of my stuff, my music, bio, everything will pop up when you click that search button.
All right, Fashion Dolls. And without further ado, joining me tomorrow, we have Michael Flynn and Vontae. It was a pleasure chatting with you. I had such a good time.
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. I'm honored to be on your platform. And yeah, I love everything about it. And I just pray that you continue to be the amazing person that you are, spread light, love, and all of that good stuff. Just amongst the people that are around you with your platform. I like how you're using your platform. And yeah, I'm gonna be tuned in every time you go live and when you do what you do. Like Monique said on the BT Awards, when what she say? When I move, you move, just like that.
Right.
Hmm.
All right, Fashion Dolls. So we will see you tomorrow. And Vontae's EP drops next
Next
month,
month.
September 13th. Make sure you guys please go and check it out. Got Love is the title.
Yep.
Please go and pre order. Go to his bio, click the
Hmm.
link in his bio, and we'll have that information tracked for you. This is interview 660, y'all. We are on the road to 700. So thank y'all so much for y'all's love and support.
Woo.
We're going to keep it going.
Amazing.
So
Amazing. Thank you.
thank you. Take care, everyone.
All right. See y'all. Peace.